Right, hi everyone. Today we're just going to be doing a bit of news about scams, etc. First is arrests in the UK over the Microsoft scam call. Now everyone that watches this channel is going to be more than familiar with the tech support scam, which the BBC have referred to as the Microsoft scam. It's the same thing. And it says here on this article, 4 people have been arrested in the UK following an investigation into scams involving calls from fraudsters pretending to be IT support staff. And apparently there's been 2 years of investigation into this scam. It's taken a while to sort of catch them out, but they've gathered enough evidence, and there have been 4 arrests of scammers that have been stealing money off innocent people, just as we see frequently on this channel. The people arrested include a 29-year-old woman, a 31-year-old, 29 and a 31-year-old woman working in Surrey in the United Kingdom, and a 37-year-old man and also a 35-year-old woman, and they were both arrested on suspicion of fraud. And apparently in the year prior to this there were over 34,000 reports of computer fraud. So 34,000 people reported the tech support scam last year. That's quite crazy. That is a lot of scams, but honestly I would have expected more than 34,000 to be reported. There are so many of these scams going on every day, and it shows here that quite a lot of them go unreported and maybe even undetected by the victims. As we saw when I called that scam victim, he didn't even realise he'd been scammed, so maybe some of these people actually believe they're getting a genuine service. And according to this, it is basically the classic cold call tech support scam where they phone up the victim, they say, oh, you got a problem, you got viruses, etc., and they get remote access to it. I haven't really seen that much. They often install images that appear to show the computer is infected or install malware themselves. That is rare. I've had that once where the scammer did install malware on the computer. That was on a live stream, I think, where he installed some ransomware. But other than that, I've never really seen that. Usually they just use things like CMD with the tree command and everything. I've never seen them actually install malware, bar one occasion. But yeah, that's quite interesting. The average age of victims is 62, and they typically pay out £600 a time. £600 for nothing. I mean, you can see my reaction when they say, oh, it's $800, etc. £600 is a lot of money, and the average age of these victims of the scam is 62 years old. So my suspicions that they prey on older people is accurate. And apparently the arrests are just the beginning of their work, so hopefully we should see this happen more and more. Scammers finally getting prosecuted and facing the consequences that they have deserved to get for so long. These scammers are scum, and they deserve every bit of crap that they get from the police. They deserve to be arrested and put in prison for the money that they steal off these innocent people, averaging at the age of 62. It's saddening. It's got the reminder that a lot of places, companies, services are saying now that Microsoft will never cold call you, which is true. If you get a cold call off someone saying they're Microsoft, saying, oh, you've got viruses on your computer, call them a BuzzCK or something and then hang up the phone because it's a scam. And it says here that Michael from London, who is 68 years old, was targeted by a scammer in October. He got a phone call out of the blue. So there we go, there's a classic cold call scam targeting a man aged 68. They're definitely preying on older people here. And it says here he seems to have a lot of information about the fact that I've been having problems, and that's not really good. It's not a very good combination that this man actually had been facing problems with his computer, and then he gets a cold call from a scam. That is just a classic case of really bad timing. He's facing genuine issues, and then a scammer phones him up saying that he's got issues. He's like, oh yeah, that's true. Let's let him on the computer. Let's pay £600 for nothing. He'd continue to have these issues as well. After the scammers had been on the phone and done whatever they did, which is nothing, he'd still have these issues. Then he'd probably realise, and he probably has realised, that's why he's told the BBC. He wanted a few £100 and for him to sign a running service contract. There was no way I was going to pay that. Good on him for not paying, because if he had paid that, guess what? Not only is he losing money, he's also giving his credit card details to criminals. And if you're giving your bank card details to criminals, who knows what could happen? I'm sort of under an alias in a Facebook group full of scammers, and they're selling information left, right and centre. They're selling people's information, leads for calls, so they sell this information to other scammers. It's like a trading business. One scammer will sell information of people to other scammers so they can do their cold calls, and it's sort of a back and forward. It's sort of a circle of scammers. That's one scammer will sell the information, another will buy it and then do the cold calls themselves, or they'll sell it on. So basically they're treating people's private information, sensitive information such as their address and their name and their bank details. They're treating that as if it's just a product to sell on, and that is very worrying. It is very worrying that these scammers are willing to trade details in return for a bit of money. And I've seen this firsthand in the Facebook group, and I will try and provide screenshots to back that claim up. And basically my advice, just like he's done here, change your passwords. If you do suffer a scam call, just change your passwords instantly. Change your passwords, and basically if they do Syskey your computer, if you've got System Restore, you can sort of do it, but you can use other recovery software. I know BrightEcho9 did a video on how to remove Syskey. I'd follow a tutorial such as that. But speaking of Syskey, we've got another piece of news here, and I'll get it up just now. Now, I've got this article up here, and unfortunately the one on Microsoft's website isn't working. So the basic piece of information that I'd like to get across here is that Syskey in the next build of Windows 10 Creators Update is no longer a thing. Syskey is gone. Now, this is a sad day for scammers, as it was tweeted at me. This article was a sad moment for scammers. Yeah, true. The scammers are no longer going to be able to Syskey you if you're up on the if you've updated to this build of Windows. Syskey is no longer supported by Microsoft, so if a scammer were to just open up run, type in Syskey, on this build it would open up Syskey. On the next build of Windows 10, Syskey isn't a thing anymore, which is great for everyone who, especially the unexperienced user. I mean, I have no problem with Syskey being on this computer, but for an unexperienced user who has no idea what it is, it's a great thing that Microsoft have discontinued Syskey. Apparently it's the Windows 10 full Creators Update, so it will be coming this autumn, most likely. So around autumn time, scammers are going to have to find a different tactic to basically put someone's own computer at ransom to them. Syskey's gone, so what are they going to use next? They're probably going to come up with a new interesting tactic, which I will have to have a look at. Hopefully it's not too malicious. But Syskey's gone, and scammers are basically one step down yet again. The scambait community and even Microsoft now are again one step ahead of the scammers, which is great news, I believe. That's about it for this sort of news type video. If you did enjoy, please leave a like, comment and subscribe to the channel for more content similar to this, and scambaits, etc. And I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.